Hello everyone, welcome to the video walkthrough of our newly launched VPC Peering Alpha release on DigitalOcean. The scope of this alpha is limited to intra-DC VPC peering, that is, ability to peer VPCs within a single data center. The scope is also limited to connectivity between droplets in between VPCs and connectivity between droplets and databases in different VPCs of a single data center. In the future releases, we will support inter-DC VPC peering, that is, ability to connect VPCs of different data centers and supporting Kubernetes pods and services. I'm going to test this VPC peering in SID1 for the purpose of this demo. And you can either create the droplets and then enable the peering, or peer the VPCs and then create the droplets. Let me show you the current lay of the land. Users can come to the networking section, go to the VPC, and they can see a third column that says connections. This is basically telling the users that how many peering connections that particular VPC holds today. As you can see, in SID1 data center, I have created 3 different VPCs. I'm going to create a droplet in VPC2, and once I establish VPC peering, see if I can communicate with the droplet in the default SID1 VPC. So let me create a droplet in the SID1 data center, selecting the VPC2. If you see, there are 3 VPCs up here. I'm going to pick the VPC2. I'm going to keep a regular sized node, and one key configuration in this is the initialization script. I'm going to add 3 static routes in here. These are basically RFC 1918 CIDRs. We are telling the droplet to take specific exit private interface for these RFC 1918 CIDRs. This is essential to activate the VPC peering, or to allow the droplets exit traffic to take the private network to talk to the other resources in other VPC within the Sydney data center region. Although this step is manual today, we are planning to automate this before we GA. I'm going to rename this. And once I select my project, I am going to click create. So let me access this droplet through the console. Once it gets connected, I'm going to check for the static route. As you can see, the static routes have got installed. Now let's go back to the other droplet and get the private IP so that we can try pinging that droplet. The droplet which is in the default SID1, that holds an IP 10.126.02. So I'm going to copy that IP. I'm going to ping it from the droplet in VPC2. As you can see, the ping is not successful. This is because we have not established the VPC peering between these 2 VPCs yet. I'm going to stop the ping, and let's go back to the networking section and activate the peering. Users can go to the networking section, go to the VPC, go to the specific VPC where you want the peering, go to the peering sections and click create. As you can see, the source is auto selected because you're already in the VPC. I want the peering to be between default SID1 VPC and VPC2. I'm going to name the VPC peering and then create the peering connection. That's it. That's all customers have to do in order to enable a peering between 2 different VPCs in a data center today. Now that the peering is established, let's go back to the console and try to ping the other guy. There you go. This establishes communication between the 2 droplets in different VPCs of Sydney data center on a private network. Now we can also test the other thing involved in the scope, that is connectivity between the droplet and the database. Here it is. I've already created MySQL test to database in the default SID1 VPC. What I'm going to do is use these credentials that's available in the console and try to access this database from my current droplet, which is in VPC2. There you go. I'm in the MySQL database. So to summarize, we have enabled VPC peering in SID1 data center, and we have tested it by establishing communication between droplets in different VPCs, and we have also tested the connectivity between the droplets and the database in these two different VPCs. Thanks for watching this video, and we are all really excited for this launch. Happy coding.